All right, we're out at the home of Jeff and Kathleen Gately. We have existing Hardie on the house. It's a Colonial rough sawn. And what we need to do is basically kind of about the only thing that is Hardie is the soffit and the sidewall siding. The fascia, the drip edge, the window trim, the door trim, the corner trim, both inside and outside corners, the freeze board is all like a cedar. So what we want to do and what Jeff wants to do here is basically accomplish everything on the home being Hardie. So, and that's really how it should have been done when it was built, but it wasn't, so that's what we're here to correct and fix up for them. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It'd be a fascia overlay. There's about 4 places on the fascia that would have to be repaired first before we do the fascia overlay. But the fascia overlay, changing all window trim, all corner trim, and freeze board to a Hardie 1x4 or equal material, equal size material. Not everything's going to be Hardie. We have a front porch and a rear porch that would have to be painted. The porch ceiling, it is a 4x8 sheet of Cedar Mill Select, so that is already Hardie. All the soffit is already Hardie and is in good condition, so that's going to stay, just be painted. So we'll kind of walk around just because of the fact that we do have some kind of a little different than average or the normal scope of work. We want to make sure we document everything here. We do have 4 pair of shutters, so those would basically be painted to whatever color choice and basically reinstalled. The color is staying the same, so there aren't going to be any color changes. So we'll just start here and kind of work our way around. This first corner is the first area up there, right on this edge right there, that's going to have to be repaired. So that's the first area of rot. This corner right back here is also another area of rot. And then we have this kind of joint right here that is going to need to be repaired, and this corner here on the front facing edge that's going to need to be repaired. So those areas are all going to have to, and it looks like it's been done before actually, but all that area is going to have to be repaired before we do the fascia overlay and the drip edge replacement. I think I mentioned that earlier. All drip edge will be replaced with the Hardie 1x2. So coming around the porch, we have some 6x6x10s. Those are all going to be painted, as is this railing. So all that railing, porch ceiling, and 6x6s will be painted. All the dormers, those 3 windows are all wrapped in cedar and they're varying degrees of rot. That's all going to be wrapped in Hardie plank. The freeze board along those soffit runs will be Hardie plank. The soffit is Hardie plank up there now. But all freeze board, all corner trim, and all window trim will be replaced with Hardie 1x4. The front door will be painted. The side lights will be painted, and all of that trim will stay. It is a brick mold trim. We just don't have anything that Hardie offers as a solution there. So all that front door will be painted. Here's the two other pair of shutters. Now we have this rake wall here. We have the same thing on the other side. So this rake up under here, again, it's Hardie plank. All that is just going to be painted. And again, fascia overlay, drip edge replacement. There's another area of rot right up in this corner on the fascia that's going to need to be repaired before we do the fascia overlay. Coming over here to the left side of the home. Let's see what this... Get my bearings here. I think we'd be looking west right now. I believe we're going to be somewhere westboundish, but basically here, again, gable vent need to be retrimmed in Hardie. Windows need to be retrimmed in Hardie, and on this window box, those corner trim pieces and that interior corner trim that butts up to the rock actually is all going to need to be replaced with Hardie 1x4. Fascia overlay, drip edge replacement, and all these, you can see a lot of cracks and of the butt joints where the butt joints aren't matched up. All that's going to be caulked and sealed before we paint that. But again, all existing Hardie is being painted, so we're leaving it soffit and sidewall siding, but it is going to be painted. So this window box is the same with that kind of scope of work. You can see here the freeze board all the way up and down those gable runs is not Hardie plank. That will need to be replaced. Soffit will be painted. Coming around to the back, we do have a little nook back here. That is all the Colonial roughs on. These two windows will be retrimmed in a Hardie 1x4. And again, same thing on this. We have another rake. See that? So that other rake there will be treated the same way. It's all painted, but the freeze board will be replaced with Hardie 1x4. And as we talked about, those two windows inside this little nook here, those two windows will be retrimmed in Hardie 1x4. Coming around to the back side of the home. Here we have another bank of windows, 4 windows. Again, this trim, is all wood, cedar trim. That's going to be replaced with Hardie 1x4. This porch railing here, there's 4 6x6x10s, and then all this porch railing will be painted, as will the porch ceiling. So up under here, and again, porch ceiling is a 4x8 sheet of Cedar Mill Select. So again, a lot of the good parts, the soffit, the porch ceiling that are usually pretty high cost, has already been done in Hardie, so that's a good thing. But we're going to go back and reseal all the H-mold joints that are somewhat coming apart and separated. Those will all be resealed with a good 50-year rated caulk before they're painted. And again, all this porch railing here that we see is going to be painted. All these windows and doors underneath the patio here, they're all 8-footers. All these doors will be retrimmed in Hardie. They actually have a brick mold on them now. Not the proper application for that, so we'll clean that up, put it on a 1x4 trim, and it'll look much nicer. It'll look much more in line with the windows down here. These two large windows have 1x4 trim, just as these doors should have. So we'll clear all that up. Looks like a utility closet over there that has brick mold on it at the far end. So that will also be retrimmed with a Hardie 1x4. Again, all interior corners, all exterior corners like we see here, all the way up, that is all going to be Hardie plank material. Interior and exterior corners. All of this Hardie underneath this patio will be painted. Okay, so moving on to the next area. Just amazing piece of property out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. This wall here, not much to do there. We do have some mold, so hopefully with the paint, at least the trim was painted. I want to say that, again, just because of the seams in that this was a Color Plus material that was put up. Obviously, because the trim's cedar, the trim was painted. You can tell that from the nail heads and some of the joinery. But I want to say that this board was a Color Plus material. So with the paint application and the way that we're going to do that, hopefully we can cut down on some of this this mold that we're seeing on the back here, because it's pretty good. There's a pretty decent amount of shade back here, and we got some mold going on. That's pretty much the back. And then we come over here. Same thing again. Got kind of a split gable here. Gable vent up there is staying. We'll retrim that in Hardie. You see the drip edge falling off the house right there, so that's why that needs to go. Get Hardie up there and you won't ever have to worry about it again. But you can tell this soffit is a nice perforated soffit. There's some installation things that could have been done differently with the soffit, but it's all staying up there. It doesn't look to be bowing or doing anything it shouldn't be. So again, that can just stay. But here you can see a great picture of the freeze board and see that it's just a rough cedar. It's not a Hardie 1x4. So we'll reinstall the freeze board. I don't know if we can get away with a 1x2. Probably not, because of the cuts behind there. So we'll just keep it as a 1x4 and do it that way. So that's what we have over here. All the windows are in rock, so no need to do anything there. We do have a side entry door right here. That will be painted. I don't think I mentioned that. So all doors that are in rock that have brick mold, that'll stay, but we are painting all doors. So the front door, this side entry door, and all doors along the back will be painted the same color as the house, and they're staying with the same white. Here we can see that rake wall again, just a carbon copy of the other side. So that will all be painted, freeze board replaced, fascia overlay with the rot repair that we already talked about, drip edge replacement. So I hope the video helps. Again, it's just a little bit just above average, kind of degree of difficulty just in terms of scope of work because of the varying things we see here. But it's going to be a beautiful project, going to be a great after picture, and we look forward to doing this work. So thank you guys so much for your time today, and we look forward to working with you.